Hey guys, it's Bug. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today I am super excited to bring you a tutorial on how I created the mini album base for this little album. It is using the stack binding method. It is super simple. If you are a newer paper crafter or mini album maker, this is the one for you. You want to start out with this technique. It is very easy, and it takes just a few minutes to create this little album base. You can take all the time you want decorating it, but I put a couple pockets in here, and I put some little journaling cards and things in the pockets, and I also put some of the 4x4 cut-aparts in this book, thinking that you could do a 3-inch square or 4-inch square photo, and even just cover that up if you wanted more room for photos. So that is my little book. Let me take you through how I made it. The paper pack that I'm using today is Simple Stories Vintage Rustic Christmas. It is a release from last year, but it is still available on Amazon, and the individual sheets are available on scrapbook.com, and I'll link all of that down below if you're interested in checking them out. Okay, the base of our super simple mini album takes 3 sheets of 12x12 cardstock. This particular cardstock that I'm using today is this Coordinations, and it is 65 pound. You might think 65 pound is a little light, but the paper that we are going to be covering it with is pretty significant, solid cardstock, so it's going to reinforce and stabilize this base. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut down our cardstock to 2 sheets of 5 1/4. So we're just going to start by cutting these down to 5 1/4, and then we'll have a little left over. And set that aside in case we want to make a pocket or a tag or something. So now we have our 6 pieces of cardstock. Currently they are 5 1/4 by 12, and we are going to cut each one of these to a different size on the long side. So they're all going to stay 5 1/4. That is the height of our album base. So let me swing out my arm. So the first one we are going to cut down to 10 3/4 inches. And each one of these is going to be 1/2 inch larger. So this one was 10 3/4. This one will be 11. This next one will be 11 1/4. This next one will be 11 1/2. And this one will be 11 3/4. So we're just cutting 1/4 of an inch off of this one. And then, actually this one we don't cut again, because this one is going to be 5 1/4 by 12. So if you stack them all up, you can see we have our 6 pieces, and they're all cut about 1/4 of an inch difference from the next one. This mini album is designed to be covered with 5 by 5 inch pieces of decorative cardstock. What that means is that we have 2 pages on each one of our sheets that is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to score each of these sheets at 5 1/4, then flip it over and score it at 5 1/4 again. So 5 1/4, flip it over, and 5 1/4. So here you see our theory is we have one page here that has a small little piece of the cardstock showing behind our 5 by 5 square, and on the other side we have the exact same thing. And what's happening with our sheets is the gusset or spine that's in the middle is going to get a little larger each time. So we still want that 5 1/4 page, so I'm going to score it 5 1/4. We want 5 1/4 this way as well. So you see we have a 1/4 inch spine here, and then we have a 1/2 inch spine here. Same thing with each page, 5 1/4, flip it, 5 1/4. Now I'm just going to go ahead and burnish each of these score lines. Okay, so now we have all of our sheets scored, folded, and burnished. And at this point, I'm just going to start gluing it all together. So here I have the piece with the 1/4 inch spine. And then the next largest piece is this one with the 1/2 inch spine. All I'm going to do is eyeball the center and glue this right in the middle. If you are interested in drawing a line so it's even, that's great. I am just going to kind of eyeball the center and glue it down. If I can get some glue out of my bottle. So the important thing to do here is make sure that you have each of your pages in the right order. Because if you skip one, you can't just shove it right back in the spot. So, these are mine. So now I'm just going to take this 1/2 inch side, this 1/2 inch piece, and I'm going to glue this into this 3/4 inch piece. Again, you can measure. I'm just going to eyeball it, whoop, and call it good. And you can see here that, let's see, there you go. They're just staggered a little bit. This middle one, you know, has a little larger amount of room in between the two pages, but that's okay. No one's probably really going to notice. You can definitely use this technique with designer paper, but what I find is that it looks a little more finished when you start with a plain colored cardstock. That way the seams, so any of the gussets or the spines, are all the same color. It looks a little more finished. But I have definitely made mini albums just using designer cardstock, not using a plain cardstock for the base, and they turn out great. Glue in the middle there. Ooh, it's not right. Get my head in the way there. I have one more. Okay, so the little book is done. See how that turns out? Once we get our pages covered, they'll kind of even out a little more. But you can see that our book is ready to be decorated. I'm going to go ahead and put, I think, 1 or 2 little pockets in here. Now, of course, you can do pockets any way you want. You could do them so that they're very large all the way across. I am just going to do 1 small or 2 small pockets that are, let's see, what's the biggest size we have here? This one, and I'm going to cut them down to 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. If you want to make larger pockets, of course, you can do that. If you want to put some other elements in here, you can do that. But I am just going to add these 2 pockets, and I'm just going to do really snug pockets, so no gusset or folding or anything. Just so maybe we can put a photo or a piece of a journaling card or ephemera in, our little book without having to glue it down. So line this up. Got one there, and I'll put one probably on this back page. Do the same thing. So now all I have to do is remember when I'm putting my my paper down that there's a pocket here and I need to cut for the pocket. So our book has 12 pages, so that means we need 24 squares of 5x5 cardstock, so you can definitely use your 6x6 paper pads for this. And then you're going to want to decide how you want to cover the pockets and the spine, which should use just whatever scrap you have left over. And that's it. Okay, our little booklet is done. We are going to need 24 sheets of 5x5 cardstock to cover our little book. That means that you can definitely use your 6x6 paper pads for this. During the month of July, I'll be bringing you all Christmas and July projects. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as those videos come out. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos, and don't forget, safety first.